Hi, my name is
Jaimee.
Hi, my name is
Andrea.
So where do the names that I chose come from? Both my first and my middle name. But first, let's start with a little bit of background information. So hi, my name is Andrea, and I had my name legally changed in October 2021 after going by Jaimee Andrea for the past 6 years. I was 19 years old in the summer of 2015 when I came out as a trans woman. So for the first 19 years of my life, I had my dead name, my old legal name, and from 2015 to 2025, I used the name Jaimee. And in July 2025, when I was 29 years old, I started going by my middle name, Andrea. I felt that the name Andrea was a more feminine name than the name Jaimee. And now that I'm almost 5 years into my medical transition, the name Jaimee is very common in both men and women. And as a side mark, my ex-roommate was a trans man and his name was Jaimee as well. So we had Jaimee, Jaimee for me, and him, Jamie, under one roof. And so when I chose my name, I based it off of and combined two of my best friends at the time who were both cis men named James and Jim. Now James was a friend that started out as a follower on my YouTube in 2011 when I started YouTube. And within a few months of talking, we figured out that we were actually from the same area. So from 2004 to 2008, me and my family lived about 20 minutes outside of Toledo, Ohio. And he lives inside of Toledo. And we both ended up meeting up in 2013 and 2015 and taking these pictures. And we made this video in 2013.
I'm Bill, S. Preston Esquire Jr.
And I'm Ted Theodore Logan Jr.
And we are
Wild Stallions!
Excellent!
Before I came out as trans, we both considered to be each other's brother. And now that I've been out as trans for the last 11 years, we are sister and brother. And now for Jim. Jim was someone who I became very close to in the 2 weeks that I was on a psychiatric hold in Northwestern University, Chicago in September and October of 2014 when I was 19. He was a major highlight in my life for those 2 weeks, and he's considered a main character in my book Paper Gown that I released in December 2020.
This is my very first book, Paper Gown, a memoir. No holds, no secrets, nothing taken away from it. This is my story.
Now I do realize and understand that I named my feminine name after two men in my life. And at the time it didn't seem to bother me because I wanted to honor both of those people because they were a big part of me realizing who I am. I know that I could have very well changed my name from Jaimee to something else in the 6 years before I got my name legally changed. But I'd also never heard, in a town of about 7,000 people where I'm from, of a man or a boy named Jaimee with any spelling of Jaimee. I'd never heard of a guy named Jaimee. And if I had heard, probably wouldn't have named myself that. When I was just a few months into realizing I was trans, I made this in day therapy. And I've kept it ever since. And now for the name Andrea, which is my middle name. It actually took a surprising amount of time to figure out the name Andrea, or how I originally pronounced it.
Andrea.
It took me until March or April 2017, so about 9 years ago. And the one other middle name that I considered was Adeline, because it was my great-great-grandma Dorothy's middle name, who I was lucky enough to meet, and she passed away when I was 15. But the reason I don't understand why it took me so long is because Andrea is literally the feminized version of my old middle name. There we are, my middle name, and it has M there, old picture. And my new one. It has my new picture and it has an F there. And not really anyone besides family even knew it, because when I graduated high school, I didn't even have them read my middle name when they called me up to the board to get my diploma. In other countries besides America, Andrea or Andrea is considered a more unisex name. In some countries, it's considered a masculine name. But in the United States of America, it's a feminine name. And I actually went to school with 3 other girls that were all named Andrea, and now I'm the 4th. So having a more gender-neutral name during that time was a lot better than having a stereotypical feminine name when I still looked very much like a guy for the most part. It did protect me having that name, especially when it was being presented on a name tag at work. I feel like I could have run into all sorts of problems with the name Andrea on my name tag when I was 21, 22. And I also felt that going by the name Andrea would be a little bit easier for my family to call me because it is so close to my old middle name. My family has always struggled in calling me Jaimee, and it never really clicked even in 11 years. And my old first name was named after my grandfather, who passed away when I was 10 or 11 months old. And because he passed away, I unfortunately cannot have a conversation with him. But I just felt like it was never my name to begin with. And my grandmother always noted to me that I never liked that name. And she was right. So part of the reason that I switched to my middle name was fueled by other outside sources. But it was still a very genuine choice. And so that's the story of how I created my name. My first and my middle name. But with that being said, I do believe that this poster needs a little bit of a change. And so just like that, we've reached the end of the video. Make sure to hit that follow button or subscribe button down below. Like it, favorite, repost. And if you'd like to, send this to a friend or post it on your Facebook. Because really, everything and anything to get my message out. I make videos pertaining to being an out, proud, and loud 30-year-old transgender woman in 2026. For all trans people and all people in general. And if this is the first video that you've seen of mine, this is your introduction, it was nice to meet you. My name is Andrea. And until next time, keep it casually authentic. Love, Andrea.